Alright, Elias, so this is the last one. Ah,
Yeah.
happy but sad at the same time. But yeah, before we get started, I just wanted to highlight two quick comments that one of them really made me laugh, and the other one I found really interesting. So, Elias, do you mind reading the first one?
I've seen so many people who initially thought the rocket was going to the moon because one of the shots really makes it look like it is. It's probably the most confusing shot in the show. It shows Vi and Caitlin standing on the platform Jake shot the rocket from, looking at the rocket still flying in the air towards the moon, which raises all sorts of weird questions about how they got there while the rocket is still in flight and where Jake's.
Yeah, so the reason why I wanted you to read that one is because remember, you kind of, at first, kind of felt alone that you were the only one that might have perceived that, but there was a whole bunch of people that liked that comment and then also under that comment that expressed a similar confusion and a critique of that scene. So I wanted to let you know that you're not alone.
Oh shit.
Yeah. It was one of the most common critiques, apparently. And the second one was just one that really, really, really made me laugh and made me blush just a tiny bit. So thank you for the smile and the blush and the laugh. So that is all. But let's get started with the fifth one, the final one. But alas, I don't really think this would be it, like I originally kind of planned when I first started the series, because the community has recommended some really neat stuff that I kind of want to check out. So I might drag your ass down into that stuff with me.
Okay.
Cool? Cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
We're gonna fight each other to the quote, right?
Yeah.
Give you, give you the world.
Fuck.
I almost feel like Mel would say that to Jace.
That sounds like Mel's mother to Jace to me.
Yeah? No, I don't know. She wasn't that friendly to. She wasn't that friendly to daughter.
No, like not Mel's mother to Mel, like Mel's mother speaking to Jace.
Oh, in that awkward like naked scene.
Yeah,
That's a good guess.
because she was doubting Jace's, I don't know, his will, his rigidity.
All right, well, okay, let's go figure out who it was.
You'd give me a throne.
I will give you the world, child, if you prove you can take it.
All right, there it is. So we were kind of close. You were kind of close. It's not quite that scene. It's the flashback we get when Mel is little and her mom. You know that scene where her mom kills that lady in front of her?
Yeah.
It's the line that we get there. So,
Okay.
yeah, we suck once again, but that's all right. Spray paint. Bye? Bye. Bye, Jinx. Oh, this episode probably will focus on the release of it, you know? The thing I've been very excited for.
Yeah.
When Arcane goes out, we will get death threats. Doesn't matter if we win every award in the world.
What? Oh, why? Why
I
would
don't know.
there be automatically the death threats? You know what?
I don't know what.
No, I don't even know what. It's just the internet.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that's just something that can be guaranteed when you're posting something on the internet. I wasn't sure if they had a specific reason for themselves.
Yeah, let's see if they have a specific reason or not.
We will inevitably piss someone off who really loves whichever character is in Arcane.
Yeah.
They will want to murder us.
True, because they
Yeah.
touched on the lore a little bit.
You know.
So the lore was not 1v1-to-1, right?
It was not, and they
Yeah.
changed the designs a little bit, obviously.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. Oh, this is the episode I've been most excited for.
Christmas right now.
Yeah.
Holy!
If it's even like half as good as that trailer is,
Oftentimes the question is like, how
I
do
like
you
the
make
way
something
they went
good?
about deafening the curse word in there. Look at that. Listen to that smart sound design.
it's even like half.
It sounds like
as good
Caitlyn's
as that
gun when she
trailer is.
pulls the bullet back.
Oftentimes
does,
the question
yeah.
is like, how do you make something good? How do you know it's good? What if you don't know these characters? What if you don't know anything about League of Legends? Would you still engage in this?
Yes!
Hopefully we succeeded in the biggest thing, which was making
That's a giant monkey clapper.
Giant monkey.
The fact that somebody can make an hour-long reaction video off of like the
Heck
smaller
yeah.
teasers that we've made is
Heck yeah, we
impressive.
can.
Let's have a closer look at this bit of animation because they're doing doubling. They're taking the character model and
copying it, gun barrel here, gun barrel here, gun barrel here.
I mean, I can't imagine how much of those are going to exist after we've released a whole season of art.
A lot, my
There
friend.
are very many, good friend.
I never thought I'd really be one here in this shoes, but I am one of them. So yes, a lot. Could react to each scene. Literally, I could do like an hour segment of each scene in and of itself.
Arcane, like what everybody's going to say. And what it's
Oh, that's a neat design. They made her hair 3D on that poster.
Yeah, that's cool. I like it.
You
Yeah, I
struggled,
tried
like...
to think of a different word. Yeah, it's
You're fine, you're
just
fine.
Just a minute.
do and think about it.
Oh, I think that's in Times Square. They have, or at least they have one like that in Times Square.
It's like, no, it has to be good because it's...
So, I was oblivious to this being released, but it seems like at the time there probably was a lot of excitement around this being released in the League community at the very least. But I was not aware. I was pretty late to the demo of Arcane. But this music and this atmosphere and this pacing that they have in the beginning of episode 5 here, I'm like nervous. I already know what happened, but I'm fucking nervous.
This thing that our audience cares about so much, that we care
At
about so
Dubai?
much. So it's,
Where is that?
you know, it's not easy to make
I'm not
decisions
sure I
when
didn't
you don't
recognize
have
it.
your head.
That's alright. Oh, here comes the intro music. 3, 2, 1, intro music! So, I like that this title is called We Gave It Our Best Shot. Makes me a little nervous what they might say, but let's go, let's see.
I'm surprised what you can pull off when your life depends on it. Depends on it.
Final day of sound mix. Do you think they felt crunch time?
I think they probably did just because of their anticipation and anxiety over its release. They might have felt crunch time, even if they weren't necessarily being rushed.
I have never worked on animation before this project, which I actually always thought was a detriment, but I was recently told that that was actually something they were looking for, so I was like, oh, good.
Oh, interesting.
That's pretty pissed. That's a little too pissed.
I love this fight scene. Not too pissed. More pissed Vi. I want pissed Vi.
They put so much detail and so much thought into the animation, you really do want to match it, you know? Like, you want it to be just as detailed, just as nuanced, and sound as cool as it looks.
Yes, you did a good job. That was my thing from part 4 when I realized the reason, you know, that fight scene that we get with Jace and Vi? The reason why I thought it sounded like background music when I went back and edited it was because it didn't have the sound effects of the punching and the clanging of the metal. It made the difference.
So Andy is the sound effects mixer. So all the cool design, the weapons.
The sound is what I think
It's
really
all
connects
him.
for a lot of people. Like, they may not realize
fucking
it.
sick.
Same thing with like music. Music is kind of like a universal language. There's something about that, you know, sonic thing that gets in your ear that
Yeah.
really, I think, helps bring stuff to life. Like when I go see a scary movie, I cover my ears, man. I don't cover my eyes, right?
Good point. Well, quick tiny story. When I was little, and still to this day, maybe not. Shh, don't know. When I go into a haunted house ride, I cover both my ears and my eyes, and I just sit there the entire time. Next, Elias can maybe confirm or deny this is true.
For the sake of your being, I will neither confirm nor deny.
The goal is clarity in the end. You know, it's supposed to be like not noticed in a way. You know,
Yes!
if it's noticed, maybe it's done. You know, it's done wrong because it's like scenes are believable when.
It's almost like I said this last time.
Yeah.
I made like a whole little graph and everything, like a little graph. It's cool.
We should have had shirts that said Sound Bros.
Arcane Sound Bros.
I'm with stupid.
Yeah, we make the noises.
We make the noises.
Welcome.
You know, for just developing the soundscapes and kind of getting some temp mixes down. These rooms are perfect for that, and then we can go to the stage and kind of fine tune things. It's very identical to Brad's. Exactly the same, actually, except for I have some plants. I'm a big plant guy, but obviously everything would die in this room, so I had to find the best looking fake plants.
I like this guy.
Target's
Me
got some
too.
great fake plants.
Target's got some good fake plants.
These are motion picture MPSC awards. These were for Blade Runner and
Oh, shit.
the game
Oh
Resident Evil.
shit. Damn, dude.
And hopefully there'll be a third one there when you come back and film this for season 2 or something.
I really like that guy. He's cool.
Sound design, when you're working in animation, you're working completely from scratch for everything.
I think I found my thumbnail. These are interesting because they're more than just a storyboard quick sketch, but they're not a full sketch.
Yeah.
And their perspectives, I'm not sure we've had.
And a lot of times it's easy to just kind of do the bare minimum of what's needed for the scene because that's just sort of the aesthetic. But for this, from day one, it was let's create a really, really authentic sounding production track.
Brad and I's
Oh my.
job ultimately is to work on the relationship between dialogue, music, and effects to help sell a believable story.
Victor.
I remember in our second episode, there was this council scene where Jace has to kind of answer for his unsanctioned research. And that scene just did not work for me, and the animatics and everything. And I looked at this script page and I was like, no, these are the right words. Like, we're saying the right things. The animation looked great. I was like, what is the problem?
The materials were far more dangerous than I was aware of.
Sounds like how it was recorded
my actions
in
were against Academy regulations.
the VO booth.
What I did endangered people. It was reckless.
Hi, Jace. Okay, we continue. I just wanted to say hi.
But to sell the sheer mass of this room, you add reverb.
It was revolutionary.
Revolutionary how?
Oh, yeah,
All
small
I
things
see
like
is a
that.
boy meddling with things he doesn't understand.
The second there was that like feeling of the
Little did Jace know, in that moment, Mel, girl not far from where he's standing, he would later brick.
Smash it.
the words just expanding into this eerie space. It felt like every word just mattered so much more, And that was the first time that scene really worked for me.
What could be happening around them?
Wow. Oh, wow.
Job is
Conversation
awesome.
back.
I feel like I can compare it maybe to when you go to approach a painting, how you have an underpainting where you maybe make the background all one color or do like an underpainting of the tones that you want to show through the skin of a portrait or something. The background music can kind of act as, or the background sounds, not necessarily music. It just brings it to life, and then you add the other sounds and layer everything on top of that. That's like your foundation. Because I'm more of a painter, so trying to like put into vocabulary terms I'd understand.
Backgrounds
Yeah,
sort
yeah,
of like
yeah.
our wallpaper kind of like lays the foundation, and then sometimes it's a combination of stuff that you've recorded in the field.
We try to go out almost at least once a week or on the weekends. I'm constantly recording. Whoop. My parents have this kind of 4x5, but when I pitched down the recordings I did, I got this. The engine had this kind of repetitive.
This is neat. These amazing, talented folks have the ability to hear. They have a creativity specifically with sound to hear things that I think an ordinary ear would miss. They're like, oh, that would sound
Yeah.
exactly like. I would never have thought of that.
Figure out how to pull something from the most mundane of
Basically
sounds.
the industrial
Yeah.
zone.
The Foley Crew was our good buddies at One Step Up. Dan O'Connell.
Oh, I didn't know there was a whole Foley Crew.
Totally crushed it. Each one of these tracks is, somebody watching this scene and doing all the feats.
Oh, this is something I've been watching a lot of recently, randomly. It's come up on my feed and browse, and I've been clicking on it. But people they watch it live, and then they do the actual movements to match it. It's really interesting because sometimes it's done really poorly, and you're like, that was shit. But then sometimes it's neat. Here, watch. Just take a look.
One character going back, doing the feat for that next character.
Footsteps, props, which is kind of like, and then gear, which is like, Vi has a certain jacket on with a buckle, and that buckle makes it.
Yeah.
It's insane. Everything from scratch. That's so awesome.
Get a different feeling on each person. Brad and I come from a world of creating game assets and characters and
Even little stuff. There was a scene in which Milo Clagger, Powder, and Vi, they all had their own sound from just how they moved. Clagger had that really heavy, like brute kind of, he just stepped and like you could hear his step. And then Powder was so lightweight, like you could barely even really hear that she was there.
Mm-hmm.
And then Vi, all I'm trying to say is each individual had their own footstep kind of sound. It's like, not just a generic footstep. Every footstep was designed for each character, which is cool.
The sound of their whole body moving as well.
Yeah.
Game where Foley is a huge player in games. So You know,
What the fuck is that not donut, cupcake thing in the background with the eyeballs that are like squishing out?
I can see it. I don't know what that's for.
I also like how they put Caitlyn and Vi next to each other because, you know, they're totally friends.
Viewpoint on Foley is like, we need it and play it loud.
We need it and play it loud. Hi! Oh! See his tiny little pitter-patter footsteps. Just the listen. Listen.
You know, Dan and John, and what they did is like embellish it.
The Foley on its own, it doesn't do what you need it to do, but like just the sound effects by itself.
Ooh.
And it doesn't have that realism and the texture that you need from like something that's real. So together.
This was a lot of people's favorite scene, by the way.
I don't blame him.
You don't blame him.
It's so cool hearing it all isolated, just the sound effects.
Yeah, yeah.
And thought that went into sounds that came from the natural world. I kind of pick up.
You think they're into
everything that
ASMR?
Sounds cool. Just
Totally.
The elk are just gonna start running into the building through the walls.
This guy's funny. I like this guy.
I like him too.
But I took that and sampled it out. 50K.
That was the creature. That was the little
That's awesome.
Well, now every time I see it, I'm just gonna think of the funny little tube.
Cow bullet. How about castanets?
What the bullet was the sound of the fucking wizard dude? Of most likely rise. Damn. Squeaky chair, but damn. Okay, what else? What else? Those were the butterflies. Okay, hold up. Is this not cool to see like the sound and then exactly what how they put it into?
It's fascinating. It's really cool.
Okay, I'll hit play.
Got a lot of weird shit.
He's like
Got a lot of weird shit. This guy's awesome.
He's like he cuts to him in different spots each time. It's just chaotic. I love it.
Yeah.
For me, the biggest thing was the magic, like the hex core, and
Ooh.
this is like the beginning and the origin of magic.
Yeah, because that's not really a natural sound per se. So it's like, what are you gonna use from the real world to produce that ethereal magic?
You know, I took some time and recorded some wine glasses. So this is pitched up and then thrown through a tremolator. And then it's also thrown through a Doppler.
Sure, whatever that is.
Kind of has both sounds intertwined.
Yeah, sounds ethereal to me. Small note. Oh, small note. Been studying ASL for a bit, and this is just one of those things that makes me feel sad, I guess. And I know the community doesn't ever want anybody to feel sad for them. That's like one of the big things is like they don't want to change, and that's cool, and a lot of respect towards that. But I just think about how fucking bummed I would be if I couldn't hear this shit. Like, this is some of the coolest sound design, hands down, I've come across in cinema.
Yeah, the way that they went about creating the sound of magic, it almost feels like it's alive, which I guess is the idea. And it's so, I can't even think of a proper word for the feeling that for what I feel watching it be created in real time from mundane objects.
I mean, let's be real, it definitely is alive after we saw it grow legs and last. If you don't know what I'm referencing, please go check out the reacting to Worlds video because I saw it. It had legs. It is confirmed. But yeah, it's just this sound. I wonder too if how much they took so much of the sound from real life where they could have just taken this from online and created it artificially using other things, but they're like, nah, we want to root this in reality.
And then like Shimmer, like the whole Shimmer thing.
The biggest player in the Shimmer is actually, that's your voice.
Oh my god.
Get the fuck out of here. Nuh-uh. They didn't have a man do a pterodactyl screech and make that this Shimmer thing. No way. Nah, let me see what this is gonna be the sound of.
Would that be hilarious if that's just how we talk?
Elliot! So just recording a ton of that
They look like they have so much fun constantly.
Yeah.
stuff just kind of gave us this like weird palette of stuff to play with. You know, running through an impulse response.
Oh.
Just taking that and then adding like a liquid kind of bubbly component to it. But
If someone were to say to you, okay, take this sound of me screeching and make it a like sound with a liquid, add a liquid bubbly component to it. What the fuck? You have to have, your brain has to operate differently. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go.
Turn my screech into a bottle of purple juice.
Yes.
Good luck.
That's great knowing it's that guy's voice now. Oh, I love it.
One thing about Brad and I is we work together well. Like you create.
Oh yeah, I
building
can
blocks,
see that
which
for
Brad
sure.
likes to call it.
You still missing stuff on those swords hits? Or the sword
when she's
swipes?
carving through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounded different. Hold up.
It did.
What to get rid of? No. Are you?
No. And he's like, yeah, you are.
Might play. What do we got? 3:30.
We have half an hour.
He's not content.
That was the initial
No, he's
design,
not.
which you kind of lose because. So like these are kind of fireworks are recorded.
Oh, I hear it. Yeah.
Getting that sizzle on stuff. Nice little trick that I do is this. This is basically just a volume graph. But
Sure.
what I like to do sometimes,
Totally.
instead of tremulating the sound, I'll draw it in like this, which I do a lot on creature vocal.
This is the most intense sound software shit I've ever seen in my life. I think I'm going ham when I have like 4 layers of sound going on in a video edit. No, honey, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Vocals and stuff. It basically gives you this. You see how it kind of cuts through a little bit?
It sounds like a creature design almost.
It does.
It kind of sounds like a lightsaber that's unstable.
Yeah, that's a good way to think of it. Yeah.
I want to hear it again.
Like a really angry energy field from like a lightsaber or something.
Yeah, and it matches Savika's attitude. Yeah, definitely.
It just blows me away. Like they're like, hey, we need a sound for Savika's plasma blade. You know, and he's like,
Casually, plasma
hold my
blade.
beer.
Right
Christian!
Now, I am thinking of the Arcane story.
What? Aw, the small.
There were definitely moments of being pretty overwhelmed for sure. I mean, speaking for myself, I'm the kind of person, I work actually well under stress, except for when you have so many stressful things that you feel like you lose oversight, if that makes sense.
So, from what I just heard, he kind of says he works well under stress, but it feels like the project, he couldn't keep a grasp on all of it. It was too large for just his one person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he was stretched a little too thin.
But knowing his person is, you know, from these, I don't know him, but from these first 4 parts, he seems like the kind of person that not being able to have a limb or a finger extended to every little area would cause him stress because he wants to be able to, he has that like perfectionistic kind of, I need to be part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I can see, yeah.
There definitely are those moments where you just feels like it just is too much, you know? I think that's why the burnout rate for, I think, showrunners is like 100%.
And right now, the thing that keeps me up at night is trying to make sure that the next season doesn't disappoint.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's good to know that they've already had season 2 in mind before season 1 was even out, because there's been a lot of fan service in terms of season 2 or 3, whatever season is, the follow-up of a movie or show not having even been written yet. And because of the feedback that a TV show or movie producer will receive from like the audience reception, they will not pivot, because pivot would imply that they already had something to begin with. They'll just change completely. They'll make something to satisfy the fans. They're like, oh, I really, really, really want to see Heimerdinger in that gimp suit, you know? And then they'd put him in the gimp suit even though that's not what originally was intended. So the fact that they already are thinking of season 2 is good in terms of the reception.
It'll flow smoothly.
Yeah, it'll flow smoothly, but also the reception feedback, hopefully, like, if there is room for it to be a positive influence, they can take criticism and make it a little bit better in rooms that it was weak, but they won't let fans push them into a corner of like, do this because I want it.
Yeah.
There's some other option, right? It's like, die or, you know, like accept some things being imperfect, you know, or something like that. That's kind of like the other path, right? That would be the way that they could go back to humanity.
No, I think we need to find a big structure.
Also, what do you think he was referring to when he said die or go back to humanity?
I don't know. I was trying to think of what he was. I have no idea. I couldn't think of what he was referring to.
Where in the world would Vi and Jinx belong? You think they would still go? I guess they would still stay in Zon, but I don't know if Jinx would want to. See, the thing is, like, if in that last episode we had, if Vi was able to get through Jinx and back to Powder, right? Would the best thing be to keep them in Zon when, I don't know, maybe he was referring to them. That's my guess. Probably not, but anyway, okay.
The big hope, I guess, with this trip to Fortiche is to lock down the final episodes of season 2. The end that I won't talk.
They already have the final episodes of season 2 locked down.
I guess so.
Oh shit.
Shit, dog.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
Came a far way from part 1 of this when they didn't even know if they were going to be able to do it and they had to scrap a whole bunch of stuff. Neat. Cool. He looks happy. He looks tired too.
What else do you want to remove?
You can remove also the...
Oh, I think they were talking, I think he was talking about season 2, because this looks like a meeting where they're talking about season 2.
Mm-hmm.
So that wasn't about Vi and Jinx, maybe I don't know. Hold up.
One thing about the ending that is new, we're like, oh, that's sort of the same beat we had in 206. Okay, that was sort of the thing we were hinging this whole episode around, and now it's not there anymore, so let's just redo the whole thing.
Oh.
This part, I think, is just a particularly hard part of stories. Getting from your middle to the, okay, on track, final run on the Death Star, you know, that kind of location.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of hoping I would get a third season because they do a really great job of having a 3-part arc consistently.
Mhm.
It was released in 3 parts, so I think having the first season be our setup, our main bulk of, you know, like a 3-part arc, and then the second middle and the third part be like towards the end, all of the end.
It's so hard to wipe the slate clean on something.
I think I just need to step back. I need to like try and figure this episode out without thinking about all the things that we've talked about.
I know. But we also don't want the baby to go out, Alex. We don't want to murder this baby with our bathwater.
That is a very writerly thing to say. Very poetic. But also, we were just talking about that. Wasn't that last episode? We were talking about how hard it is to just scrap stuff when you don't want to.
Yeah, especially when you've worked so hard on it up to that point, only for it to not really be working out.
This is just a sign that it potentially will be good.
Looks like they're doing the
I'm
frames.
searching the exact location of the problem, because when you say this is a little blurry or there is a bug here, sometimes it's difficult to just spot the right place and the right frame. As you can see, we can't see the shard.
Dude, honestly, no one on the fucking planet would notice this. But props to you for caring that much. That's really cool. You know what's a problem I'm thinking about? When you work on a project for this long, it's hard to step back and be able to see it as it is. Because when I'm working on something like a painting or whatever it is, and or like specifically a writing piece, I hate it eventually. I'm like, this is awful. But then I step away for a day or two and I'll come back and with a clear mind, haven't thought about it at all, and I'll be able to see it fresh again and it feels good.
Yeah.
At this point, they're probably, because, you know, one day a frame, right? They've seen each frame and each scene over 100 times that they've just become desensitized to the emotion.
Son bras, il doit être allumé là, comme ça, avec le... Où il est...
Non, il est éteint.
Hein?
Il est éteint. Il est censé être éteint.
On peut toujours apporter quelque chose de plus. Et c'est ça qui est des fois un petit peu frustrant pour nous parce qu'on est assez perfectionniste, c'est de se dire bon allez là on lâche le clavier.
Des fois c'est un peu dur.
Hey Christian.
Kind of wrapping up last minute tweaky.
Notes all make sense?
Yeah.
People always say, oh, when you work on something, you leave a piece of yourself. In this case, it's just like it definitely took a chunk out of me. I think the best thing that I could somehow do and hopefully add some value is make stuff where we ask relevant questions and where we can show people different perspectives.
Yes. Yes. The first video I ever made on Arcane, which kind of got my channel started, so this is like a bittersweet moment for me, was why you should watch Arcane with no spoilers. So if you found my channel through that video, hi, that's awesome that you're here. I just reached 700 subs today, and I'm super happy about that. So one of my main points of praise as to why you should watch Arcane is because it gives you so many different perspectives, and it shows you how to arrive at those different perspectives. So you can sympathize and put yourself in almost every single character's shoes. And it's the video where I couldn't say moral ambiguity. That's what I think the show excelled on the most, was how many characters were able to have different perspectives. How many characters allowed us as the audience to experience different perspectives, and for all of them to hold their own weight and to make sense. And yeah, good shit. Crying in the club because I only got like 10 more minutes of video left, and I'm just
Well, for Vi and for Jinx, the central question is, can you ever forgive a monster? How far are you willing to go for your sibling? Is there a line where you just can't go for your sibling and you just have to say, sorry, but this is where I have to leave you?
Elias, that hit. That hurt.
Oh shit.
My family life has been rough, let's just say that.
If there's anything that we can achieve with Arcane past just the sheer entertainment, if there's just some good questions to ask for all of us and find our own answers, man, that's, I think, the best thing Arcane could do.
What could have been?
Now we're done.
Now we're done.
Pyramids.
Whoa.
What?
The first media product in the history of the world.
I built the pyramids? Is that what they're trying to say?
What kind of conspiracy?
And we got Netflix and Amazon to actually partner because we're live streaming it on Twitch and enabling our players to restream it. Like crazy shit you'd only do at Riot ever that no one's ever done before.
Yeah, they really gave a lot of content over to fans to use.
They did.
It is such a pleasure to welcome Alti and Christian Link to the premiere stage. How many things have you spent 6 years on one?
Christian all dressed up, all fancy schmancy? Hold up.
And Christian Link to the premiere stage. How many things have you spent?
Oh wow, they
6
both
years
look fancy
on one
schmancy.
project for in
Yeah.
your life? One single thing have you spent 6 years for before?
Marriage?
How many Xanax do you think were taken before this party? Like, everybody on the team was probably shitting and pissing themselves, you know, like, so nervous.
Yeah.
What is this? What are you?
Little
Oh,
robot.
that's right. I forgot about these. I saw these before. It was like...
Yeah.
So, I don't know how I feel about these. No, I do
Look
know
what
how
the little hi, my name is story.
No. I do know how I feel about these, and I don't feel like I like them very much. They're, like, cute at first, you know? But then, like, imagine standing there and actually talking. You know? I don't know.
Oh, it's so weird when there's a bunch of them.
Putting on trousers though. If I was somebody who was actually there, I would hate being followed by a robot. That being said, as the robot, I have no problems with putting somebody into a vaguely uncomfortable situation. That is, they have to talk to an iPad that is on a stick.
That's so funny.
I am 100%
I'm lucky. I've had a long association with Riot because I played Braum in League of Legends.
Wait, you're Braum?
I'm Braum.
Oh my god!
Hulk is the strongest muscle.
Wait, that's one of the guys actors?
That's a champion. He's a voice actor for one of the champions, yeah. Big burly guy.
Oh, this dude's freaking huge.
He is huge.
Is that a shield that he's holding?
That's a good question, actually. Let me look up what Braum uses in game. What is that? Literally just a big fucking tower shield?
To tank tower shots?
No, a tower shield is a type of shit, like this big, massive, just wall of a shield. I think you're right. I think that's a shield.
Oh, wow. Cool. Sorry, in Smite, the things are towers, I thought. Oh, so he's actually also a fan there.
The this is kind of scary because, I mean, look, it's like the anticipation from the fans, it's just, you can feel it. It's like tangible. Even on the internet, you can just feel it.
My
agent sent me out for it, and I was like, oh, this is cool. You know, a black kid. He's a scientist. He's super sick. You know.
Ekko's
And then when I
voice.
got in, I was like, oh, this is a lot bigger than I thought.
Everybody's so good looking. What the fuck?
Well, how do you approach this challenge?
Yeah, I don't know. I think
That blue light thing was like projected up in real. Dude, I would be having. I'm not like I contain my nerdiness to a pretty good degree, but if I went to this event and that was there, I think I don't know. I'd become unmanageable.
Hey, maybe one day some of these people that are interviewing them are YouTubers.
Dude, I have 7 hubs. I of course am gonna try my best to keep growing, and then I'll become so big that I'll consume the whole world. And then when I consume
the whole world.
Consume the whole world, and then I just enjoy making content that people enjoy, that I enjoy, and we all have a nice little enjoy time. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be able to blend in with these people though. They're so fucking good looking. I'm like, holy shit. Like, oh man, like the spandex on the right is really fucking great though. I love that. Love that a lot.
Yeah. I have to say, I've never been as proud of a job. Finally, now actually it's out, and anyone tonight across the world can turn on Netflix and watch it. That makes me really happy. It's a weird feeling.
I don't think I've seen the voice of Victor yet. That was Victor.
It was.
Netflix and watch it. That makes me really happy. It's a weird feeling.
Should be very special. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be too afraid to really see what the reactions are. I think I'm just gonna watch it, and then I'm just not gonna look online for as long as I can. We've poured like 6 years into this, you know. The idea of having just someone go, it's just like,
That's yes. I think I might use that as a clip from now on whenever someone says something stupid, you know, about Arcane.
Yeah.
Just that exact face of him just going,
it's just like,
Yeah.
Because that's really the only reaction you can have when you just get blatant hate unsupported by anything that makes any sense.
Safely assume is that the League audience is gonna be unmerciful.
You said that last time too.
Whichever way that goes, you know. If they love it, they will probably send me baskets of food. If they hate it, they will send me baskets of shit.
Oh wow, this event looks so cool!
That's so cool.
The whole fucking arena is changing colors.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna be alright?
Man, I wanted to go to this. So, in this situation here, Christian, right, already knows every fucking frame and scene, and he's knows it in and out. Out. This just reminds me of a movie I saw called Tick, Tick, Boom, and it has Andrew Garfield playing a real life man, and basically, long story short, after a bunch of rehearsal, he has this moment where he puts on the show, and he's just sitting in the back of the chair, and like he kind of like blanks out for the entire thing.
And the next hour and a half are a blur.
I feel like Christian's probably doing the same exact thing here, because he knows it all, and the only thing, he's probably extremely attentive to the vibe and feeling of the room as it's happening. You know?
Yeah.
He's not actually watching. He's just trying to fucking like stay present.
Yeah.
I mean, what else would be going through? What would you be going through your head if you were Christian here?
Probably try not to throw up.
Yep, that's that's a good one. Just act calm. Oh, did they watch more than episode 1? Did they watch? There's no way they watched all fucking. Do you think they watched like the first 3 because they released in batches?
Maybe that's a good point. Maybe they did do that.
Because that'd be 40 minutes times 3, so they wouldn't be too bad.
Look at all the runes.
Yeah, I see
on
them.
The walls.
It's dope, man. I'm just trying not to. I'm gonna get jealous, so I'm just trying to ignore it. Oh my god, that's so cool! Oh no, man. Oh, baby, they did the first 3, yeah.
When Christian sent me the first cut of the last 5 minutes of episode 3, I bawled.
Yeah, as you should.
I, like,
as
straight,
any.
like, ugly
Yes.
cried.
Yes.
It was just. Sorry, I didn't even think about it.
Stop, man. Stop it.
Oh no, look at them in the audience.
Man, I don't want to cry. I did that last episode.
sister anymore.
I love. What the fuck is
What
the
the fuck
back?
is it? The dude- We saw him at the same time.
I was about to talk about like the emotionality of this moment, and it's probably nice for Christian and the team to know that it's coming across and it's landing. But then there's just a fucking guy with the bag on his head.
Unmoving.
We will show them all.
We will show them all.
The feeling that we really wanted people to have is that we handled that IP with care and love.
You did. I think they did.
Oh, dude, I'm so happy with it, bro. How do you feel?
I haven't looked at my phone at all today, so I'm going on the assumption that everyone hates the show and we're
No. I feel like now is the time where like I'd probably get drunk on a 3-day binger and then like not check my phone and then wake up and be like, okay, how'd it do? And then if it did bad, go on another like 12-week binger and then, you know, but then if it did well, then you know you're good. You take an aspirin and you'll fine.
we're canceled, and this is the last night of joy we're gonna have in our lives.
Probably.
Whoa! Is that a Vi cosplay? And
Looks like
Jinx.
it, yeah.
Vi, Jinx, and Caitlyn? Question mark? Or just
That might just be a random lady. If
Random
it's
lady.
someone, I don't recognize it.
I haven't seen any of the reviews or anything. No, I haven't touched my phone since
He kind of seems a little tipsy. I love it.
He does.
You're gonna be happy though. Act 1 review. Netflix. Dude, I'm so proud of you, man.
Arcane Act 1 review. Something League of Legends spin-off is amazing. Okay.
Well.
Okay, so quick note. I think Christian, and maybe it's just myself, so maybe it's just me, but it's like this weird balance of obviously wanting other people's opinions to know if they agree that what you made is good or bad, or if they enjoyed it or whatever. But as an artist in any medium, it's the conflict of, well, hey, I know in my heart that what I made here in front of me is amazing, you know? And I shouldn't need validation from external sources to tell me what I made is amazing. And that's something I've been trying to embody. It's hard. Because feedback is good. But at the same time, there's a line between feedback and then needing it to validate your own work and just everything. So hopefully, I was a little unclear, but hopefully Christian still knows his work was good before even seeing any of these reviews. Because even if a review came out and said it was bad, that I would hope that wouldn't change Christian's mindset.
Yeah.
Shit's great. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
What are your thoughts as someone who does art on this topic?
It's hard as an understatement. I still struggle super bad with, being happy with what I create just because I'm happy with it and I know I did what I could and that came out nice.
Well, yeah, can I ask you a deeper question then, though?
Go ahead.
So if you struggle, right, with finding your own art satisfying without external validation, let's just say you're not able to find it within yourself, so then you put out your art on Twitter or whatever it is. Maybe even you get a commission and someone buys it, and for some reason they say they love it, but for some reason you don't like it, you're not proud of it.
Yeah.
That validation will not fill that hole from other people.
Correct. It just leaves you with imposter syndrome.
So, yeah, just a side note. Made me think of it. Was thinking about how they're getting all the reviews in, and I hope that they know it at the end of the day doesn't matter, because they should know that what they made, they're good artists, and they know what good art is, and they would know.
Today we're taking a look at the new Netflix show Arcane.
Voice critical, yo!
Hell yeah.
Cool. Hey man, how you doing?
Start by saying it slaps.
It slaps.
It slaps. Maybe for season 2 I can be one of them, hey, who knows? Stop it. Don't make me cry. It's okay, don't apologize.
I'm so overwhelmed. Mainly gratitude.
Oh, this is what I wanted. Remember I said I wanted to make sure I knew that they loved.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the community succeeded in giving the artists a big hug virtually.
Christian his baskets of food.
I literally said to him, I remember I said to him, if it goes down, we'll go down with the ship. I literally said to him, like,
Yeah.
Holy shit. It's just, if this goes bad, you can have my job. It's just funny.
He'd go down with the ship because he'd defend it, you know? He'd be like, this
Yeah.
shit's good.
Christian, you alright, dude?
Yeah, you're right there, man.
Et maintenant que la soirée commence.
The crowd whoops.
Ce qui a fait aussi la force et la qualité d'Arcane, c'est que tout le monde était très passionné, a toujours été très très motivé, quoi. Je pense qu'il y avait cette idée.
Whoa, they got some dance moves.
I was at dinner recently with the directors of Fortiche, and they said they're very happy right now because when they got into this industry, they really wanted to create something to be history of the animation world. And they were smiling and they were saying it's such a relief that after 6 years now, they feel like they know they worked on something that is part of animation history. Doesn't matter if the project is like a wild success or it's doing fine or you know, worse than that. If anything, we've crafted something that
Oh, it's nice to see him
pushes the
smiling and
animation
happy.
world forward
It
by
is.
a significant margin.
It's nice getting above it all, huh?
Oh, you can't end it like that, man. You gonna fucking make me cry. You can't just cut away and be like in this scene and then fuck you, Pt.5. Fuck you, man.
The fact that we can spend 5 hours in just Piltover and Zon and then do it again in a second season before we start to zoom out of this one little corner of the world and this handful of characters, just the possibility space is so wild. You know, Alex made a comment to me last night. He's like, I could see myself telling stories in this universe for the next 30 years.
It's a small miracle that this TV show got made. Yeah.
The other blessing and a curse for me and Alex is like we're never satisfied and we always want it to be better. So no matter how much you think you might know about what's coming in season 2, there's always going to be tons of new stuff to discover. I think people are going to be really excited about what they find.
Sweet. Oh, I like it. RGB keyboards for the win. Oh, this is the shot.
Right.
This was the first shot of the computers we got in the very, very beginning of part 1.
It was.
Because I liked playing the game. I loved it.
Well, it's just crazy to think about my own development from part 1 to part 5 because part 1, I don't know, I didn't go into it expecting very much. I thought maybe I'd just learn about, you know, what went into it mostly in terms of graphics or something. I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting myself as a person to suddenly care about League. And I don't mean that in an offensive way at all. I hopefully mean that as a compliment because the comments and the conversations and then the live stream I just had, we talked about League a bit during that too. It was, it's just grown on me. And now I'm kind of somehow even more excited for season 2. I care about these characters even more than I originally did, even though I didn't think that was quantifiably possible originally. So, all right, let's just finish this up. We got like a minute left.
I think when Alex and I were starting to talk about making something like Arcane, we just thought that this should exist because we want to watch it. We love these characters. We love these worlds.
What Stanley would tell you to do.
I think maybe my favorite thing above all of Arcane is that I am very confident in saying that there's many people who work on Arcane right now that feel like they're working on the most important thing of their lives, like their careers. I feel like people feel like they're challenged, they're working on something that's going to matter, they're going to look back to and say, yes, like that's a proud moment of my life and I'm happy I worked on it. And that to me is probably the most important thing.
Christian saying some real shit. Real stuff. Bye, Christian! No! Why do I feel like I just finished watching a movie?
I mean, if you were to put all the parts together, it'd be the length of a feature-length film.
Maybe even longer because it's 30 times 5.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's 2.5. Never mind. Bad at math. Ignore me. This is fun. This was fun. Thank you to everybody who recommended I take a look at this. Thank you for tagging along if you're still here in part 5. And, yeah, I have so many different things I want to check out after this. Don't really know quite where to start. And also thank you, Elias, for tagging along. And, you know, I think originally you might not have been as interested in how was your journey throughout the 5 parts?
I'm not one who easily gets emotional.
Okay.
But I, like you, really felt like I needed to see that Christian knew that people loved what he created and brought to the community.
And do you feel like he sees that? I hope he's...
I hope so.
Yeah, just to say one last time, thank you. This community made this twice as fun to watch as it would have been. So hope to see you all lovely noodles in another video. Bye, bye, bye. Also, Heimerdinger is in that gimp suit. 100%. So that's honestly my favorite thing that came out of this. Have a lovely night, folks. I hope you have good time with the life that you live in the meantime and stuff. Toodaloo! Oh wait, where's the French accent? How do I do French? Pew, schmidt pew. Wait, how do I do ratatouille? I ended on like a. How do you say something French?
I don't know how to speak. Je ne parle pas
Bonjour,
français.
Francais, bonjour, gong gong, bein. That's what it sounds like, right? Whatever.
Close enough.
Okay, goodbye.